Hi everyone, Jessica Brogley here. I'd like to take a brief moment to show you one of my favorite Chrome extensions that I use when reading online. So I used to use Evernote's Clearly to read large amounts of text online, but I recently realized that it's not being supported anymore. So what it did, if you have it and you don't use it, here's what it does. It's pretty cool. You would go to a website or an article that you want to read, but it's got a lot of extra text. This is a great example. It's from Education Week. It's an article I'd love to read, but there are so many distractions. And this digital space is really being hogged by a lot of stuff that I don't want to look at. And if I have students reading these types of articles, I really need to have coaching points to get them to just read the text and not all of the extra stuff. So what I used to do is click on Clearly, and then Clearly would trim out all of that extra stuff. I can also click the text feature and change the color and even change the size. And lastly, I could also annotate text, and that was just wonderful. But now I know that they're not supporting it anymore, so that's a huge disappointment. But what I realized is that it's not that it isn't being supported. The tool was integrated into a different Evernote tool called Evernote Web Clipper. So you would go to the Chrome Web Store and download the extension Evernote Web Clipper, or Google Evernote Web Clipper, and go ahead and install it onto your Chrome browser. It will show up as an extension with our typical little elephant, and it will say clip to Evernote. And so when you go back to your article that you want to read and it's got all this extra text, if you don't have Clearly, well, then just go ahead and click on or download Evernote Web Clipper. Let's go ahead and do that. And now basically have more options than I did with Clearly. I can clip the whole article, the simplified version, a full page. I can just bookmark it, take a screenshot. I can do all sorts of stuff, and it saves it to my Evernote account. And then I can decide which notebook do I want to tuck this in. So I'll just throw it in my first notebook, and I can mess with some options. The only thing that I can't do that I don't like, I can't make the font larger. And there's probably a way, and I'm just not seeing it. But I'll go ahead and click Simplified Article, and look what that does. Essentially the same thing that Evernote Clearly can do. And then I can go ahead and click Save. I can read it. I can do my annotations. I'll go ahead and click Save, and that article is now saved in my Evernote account. Very slick. And if I don't want to save it, that's okay too. I can just click the Web Clipper, click Simplified Version or Simplified Article, and read it, and I'm done. I probably, now that I think about it, I could click my 3 hot dogs in Chrome and click the zoom button under the hot dogs and increase it. I'm at 125%. That makes it pretty easy. So I guess I've kind of solved my own problem here. So I can go ahead and read my article, clip it if I want, but just pay attention that if you have Evernote Clearly already, that's great. It still works. They're just not going to support it anymore. And if you never got it in the first place, then you're definitely going to want Evernote Web Clipper. Both tools, but the current one, obviously, Evernote Web Clipper, is a great option when you need to read large amounts of text online and you need to trim all of that extra stuff. Check it out. That's Evernote Web Clipper.